Hello, my fellow adventurers! Welcome back to the Rambler's Tavern, the only podcast. The only podcast. It's the only. I killed every other podcast. I murdered them, but the police will never be able to prove it. Even if I omitted it here, even if I said it here, don't worry.
Even behind the bastards.
Listen. For legal reasons, wink, wink. This is a joke. See, I said J.K. That's legally, I'm off the hook. I am.
We're all laughing. Ha 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 ha.
The fact that you're not laughing, but I am, makes it even funnier and more legally binding. I am your host, Basil Strikes, aka Basil Not the Herb, and I am joined by my co-host, the wonderful, the amazing, the beard of knowledge, the black dragon of the Midwest, Wormhold.
That's me.
And today, hey. And today we have a special guest with their giant fucking fat ass head. We have the tentacled sailor of trash eating. Unless that's like no longer your thing. I remember I met you when you were literally a trash squid.
I am still a trash squid.
Alright, awesome. We've got IllithSailing! Woo! Captain on deck!
That's me! I'm the captain! Everyone here is my crew now. That's what the cutlass says. Hi, I'm Illith. I am a trash monster sailor. I play a lot of RPGs, strategy games, cozy games, and basically anything else the hell I want. Y'all can find me over at Twitch on Twitch as IllithSailing. It's been my name for a while.
Thank you for coming on the show. I know we were pitching this and talking back and forth on it for a little while. Happy to have you.
Yeah.
Illith, I got to know during my more focused adventures of trying.
Excuse me a second.
Okay, I guess I'll tell the story without you. I got to know Illith when I was making a bigger push to be a VTuber and try to be consistent with this whole streamer content thing. And Illith and I found each other because we both really like Warhammer, and we tried to do a Total Warhammer 3 collab, but because Total Warhammer 3 is programmed by drunk monkeys at the time, and I assume to this day, it didn't work very well. But ever since then,
I have returned.
welcome back. I was telling them about how we tried to do a Total Warhammer collab, and like the game just wouldn't play right.
Yeah.
But ever since then, we've stayed in contact. I now run for fun some tabletop RPGs for them and some other mutual friends I have now been introduced to. And they have been a very fun and chatty person over time. So thank you again for being on the show.
Absolutely. I am excited to be here and talk so much about nerdy interests with you both. It is good. It's good to hang out, Basil, and it's good to meet you too, Worm.
Likewise, Illith.
So, we started as most professional podcasts do. We started talking about something a little bit before we went live, just because it's one of those things that happens. You get around to chit-chatting and talking about shit. And we were talking about The Boys. We were talking about how we don't quite care for it. I have my opinions, but given that we have a guest, Illith, why are we so quick to talk shit about The Boys?
Oh dear God. Okay. So here's the thing. My housemates have been really big fans of The Boys for a very long time, and I haven't been. Like never once during its run. Never once. I vaguely caught some interest around like the second season when they were doing like that one plot line with the with like the are we still do you still need me to like watch my language at this point?
Oh no, we're 6 minutes in, Chief. We're good.
All right, yeah. So I was kind of interested around like the second season when they were doing that plot line with the Nazi lady. But like that is exactly my extent of what I have witnessed of the boys. And honestly, most of my like everything that I've seen surrounding the boys just feels like hilariously like it tries to be very topical, but it mostly just feels edgy and preachy, and I don't like it.
Mm-hmm. No, I can kind of relate to all of that.
Yeah, I I have tried watching this show many times. The first episode was like a lot. And I do like the line of what, and I do like fucking Carl Urban in that show. Fun fact: if any of you guys that are in here right now were watching the playthrough that we were doing previously for Righteous Hells, my character Ambrose, that was actually his voice inspiration. Was Carl Urban in The Boys,
Ooh, I
which is
like
funny.
that. That's
Yeah,
fun.
Honestly,
yep. It was
honestly,
like a
not bad.
slice of him, a slice of Trevor Belmont.
Yeah, I like
You know what?
that.
That's really good character inspo.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It helps because he's like an edgy fucking cop too. So,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Worm, where do you stand on the boys?
So I made the mistake of reading The Boys.
Oh dear.
Um, Save yourselves. Don't do it.
I
Save
I have heard
yourselves! Just,
I
ju-
have
I'm
heard stories about the boys as like a freaking comic.
just
It is.
imagining, just like save yourself. As like Homelander with a really stretched out smile is just dragging him away.
Yes.
Like, I just want you to imagine early James Gunn sensibilities. I just want you to imagine that, right?
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
If that guy had gotten free reign at Adult Swim on Cartoon Network,
Ow.
that's what reading The Boys was like.
Big oof.
The biggest of oops, my
Yeah.
man.
the,
So
the biggest of
when it came
oofs.
to so when the time came to watch The Boys, I was like, this is so much better than the comic.
Mm-hmm.
And then I watched the show for a couple of seasons. I was like, that doesn't make it great.
Mm-hmm.
It's so accurate. It's okay, so like my whole thing is if you like the boys, no hate, no like disdain or anything of the sort on that, right? If you like the boys, you like the boys. That's totally fine. My thing is I actively like superheroes. I actively like superhero stories. Um and I personally have an issue with a lot of these superhero critique stories because I don't feel like they have anything interesting to say. And to give the context of like where I stand on this, I am someone who, as I have gotten older, loves the best of Batman and Superman. I think Superman is, in fact, a great character and a great superhero. And the whole, like, oh, but what if Superman was real? He'd be evil. And I'm like, no, then that's not Superman. Like, you're missing the entire point, and you're doing the most, like, basic bitch reading of Superman. You're not looking at this any deeper than, well, obviously, like, overly sarcastic studios, I think, said it best. And I think I think I'm like parroting something that they themselves are parroting. But I heard it from them first. If you think Superman would do horrible things with the powers they have if Superman was real, what you're probably saying is you would do horrible things with Superman's powers. You are telling on yourself. And while I don't think that's true all the time, it's definitely in my mind when people are like, "Oh man, Superman would just be evil." It's like, listen, I love you. You are close family to me, but I think you're just telling on yourself.
Like, I'll even
Yeah.
say, the argument of, oh, if people with superpowers was a thing that happened, more people would end up on one side or the other. And I'm like, I honestly think Cyberpunk does the best job of exemplifying what it looks like when a non-zero like percentage of people have superpowers. They continue to just be people, right?
Oh, that's
So it's
That's
like,
interesting. Yeah.
but like I know exactly what you're saying. That is ooh. Ooh.
so it's
So-
like this whole idea of like, if you had Superman powers, no one could stop you from doing whatever you want. So you would just do whatever you want. It's like, but you still have to go to like, you still need things. And if you're not
Yeah.
going to be a superpowered thief, or go the Hancock route and be a superpowered hobo, you still have to find a way to get things. And the society you live in still has rules. Are you going to be the thing that society rallies itself against? Or are you going to go about your day as a part of it, but with superpowers? Most people, for the sake of not having friction in their life, will pick the latter.
Yeah, no, I completely agree.
Mhm.
Like you are imagining. This is why you are the Beard of Wisdom. You are literally playing the skeptic's game by telling them, okay, let's take this further. If you were evil Superman, you would hate your life because you would not have it anymore. You would do something stupid with your powers. The world would hate you, and then you would have no one left.
Yeah, that's kind of so. That I guess that's part of like. That's kind of part of where I'm at too with like superheroes. Like, full cards on the table. I am not a hero enjoyer. I do not like superheroes. It is like,
Get out of my house! Get your
Embarrassed about it.
Get your ass out of my podcast!
I
Right,
have
bye.
a formal notice that you have. I don't know if you're aware, but you have deceased. You are currently dead to Basil.
I apologize if that was way too fucking loud. I will edit that in the VOD. But like there was a solid 3 seconds of me hearing that, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna.
yeah, I'm not a superhero enjoyer. It's just like core to me that I am not a person who cares too much about superheroes. It's kind of hard for me to describe why, but it's like my genre that I just can't.
Well, that's
it's
how
consistently.
That's how I am with
Like-
sci-fi. Like, no disrespect to sci-fi, but like nothing, a lot of things in sci-fi just don't click with me.
Mm-hmm. And that's kind of what it is for me. It's the thing I kind of hearken it to is like I also have a thing where I'm not that into westerns, and I feel like there is something.
All right,
that
now I
comes
take
from,
offense.
There's something that I did. Okay, but like.
I feel like you're attacking me. I feel personally.
All right, well, I guess I'm going to attack you a bit more, because like the thing is that I guess I just don't like there's a lot of tradition, like genres specifically, that don't grab me because they feel, and this is gonna sound weird when I say it out loud, but they feel too American to me, and not in the ways I like.
Oh no, like that's for both. You're not imagining it. That's very real.
Yeah, westerns especially have it. I kind of like have some issues kind of with just the way that they kind of characterize their societies and stuff. Some westerns from from like what I have seen have a bit too much apologia for certain eras of history that they really fucking shouldn't. And with superheroes, it's mostly just kind of like it. I'm not a fan of it because I just can't get down with like the American exceptionalism angle that a lot of like hero stories seem to kind of prop up, like unintentionally. And that's really what it comes down to for me, is that the genre for those reasons just bounces off me like a sword on armor.
I honestly, yeah, you saw when I put the title. I forgot I was screen sharing. Worm, do you want to add anything to that before I give my 2 cents? Because y'all know
No,
I could yap.
I mean, it's a very good critique to have. Like, it's one of those weird things where it's like, the big pitfall of world building when it comes to mass media is so much of your creative team comes from a specific time and place, and that becomes the fabric of the world. And you think, oh, we're good, right? We didn't do the thing, and then slowly it gets shifted into being the thing. Comics are a big superhero comics are a big perpetrator of this, where it's like, no, like we're multicultural and everyone comes from everywhere, and somehow everyone is always American by the end of the day.
And even when they're not, it's like, oh no, you did a racism. Do you have do you have this culture as like a sensitivity reader? No. Oh.
That's not gonna bite us in the ass, is it? In fact, it will.
To add on top of that, I also agree. I think these are very fair criticisms of things that I love. Not to like make this Basil Loves Overly Sarcastic Studios, but they recently did a video on space westerns and broke down like the difference between like your traditional western and a space western and like what you can do with it. And one of the things I really loved about the video was like it's easier to separate the good things you like about a certain a genre or time period from the bad things when you acknowledge the bad things existing. So like going into like westerns, let's be totally real. Most westerns glorify the colonization and murder of Native Americans. Period. That's just a thing. And even like one of the things you have to bundle with if you're writing either a fantasy or sci-fi western is you have to deal with, oh, well, instead of it being Native Americans, we'll just make it monsters in the wild. But even that doesn't work because then you think about like the I don't want to use strong words and get like tagged on YouTube. The assisted / forced quitting of the game of life of Buffalo. Like there's so many aspects of like what westerns glorify. But then when you start looking at that, you also consider, well, what is it that people actually like? People actually like samurais, which is what most good Western films are. They're just samurais with guns. And then Japanese directors and writers said, oh, hey, cowboys and samurais are kind of similar. We're now going to steal some of that back. And we won't be mad about it because, shush, everyone's cool with it.
Yeah, I think that's actually a really interesting point. Because, like, my big thing with, like, because I feel like a Western from, like, I come at a lot of, like, media that I perceive from, like, a world-building perspective. Because, like, I am, like, frequently for a lot of my life, I have been a game master and, like, secondarily kind of a writer, like a world writer in a way. So when I'm perceiving, like, the media that I'm seeing, I kind of try to dig into why things are. And that's been frequently an issue with me in, like, Westerns, but I really do like the feel of kind of just, like, the frontier, like, almost like the frontier lawlessness that kind of comes from a setting like that.
Yeah, and then, like, having, like, the lone hero who tries to help the common folk around the land.
Yeah, like, I think about things like... It's kind of a space western. I think it's more of a space western in its source material, but I wouldn't know. I haven't read it. But I think of things like Trigun. And
Trigun is, like, one of the most definitive of, like, this is a space western, 100%.
Yeah, Trigun... I definitely, like, Trigun is, like, the things that I can see really liking about a Western hitting good. And I like Trigun.
Right, and, like,
so,
that's something... Oh, I'm sorry, I'm cutting you off.
No, you're good.
It's something that Sarcastic Studios talks about too. Is like the reason why Trigun really works is because it focuses on the Western vibes and then gives a story reason why these people are here and why they're doing the things they're doing, which is in part slightly repeating history because, like, hey, it's how we survived back then, but we have slightly better technology. And then, like, they're not on Earth. This is just a random fuck off desert planet that they're stuck on. So, like, you don't have the problems of killing the natives. It's just, nah, like, we're fucking stuck.
I mean, but also, all things being equal, the planet is named after one of the more famous Western TV serials.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, yep. But that's like a nice little like nod, like, haha, I'm a Western.
Yeah.
In case you didn't know.
I kind of feel like
I
also
realize this, but I'm a Western.
Yeah. I kind of feel like it also kind of plays into like it's kind of similar in a way to like a post-apocalypse settings. I think also kind of capture the kind of Western cowboy vibe a bit, because it's almost like, hey, our civilization has kind of hit its downfall and we're kind of in a state of lawlessness. So we got the hero here who is trying to either bring law or some level of like righteous justice or something that comes with that. Because like governance is really like out there and like spread out across this vast fucking desert. And this is kind of the way things are. We don't have like high-speed internet to be able to just kind of like know things are going on and be able to bring people there in like a moment's notice. It's vast stretches of desert and shit, and the only way you're getting to it is your buggy. Or like it's vast stretches of ruins and it's getting to your buggy, getting through with your buggy. And that's kind of the vibe that I kind of get off of that sort of thing. And I dig that a lot because I am a social structures person. Like I fucking love seeing how people interact and create societies around them, and I love theory crafting off of that. Again, it's one of my like it's one of the reasons that like being a game master and kind of like a world writer is such an interesting idea to me. It's because I get to basically make a sandbox where I get to play with the idea of these things being the way they are and why. And that is, I think, what really like really makes my fucking like really like crisps my dollar or whatever the fuck when it comes to like a Western setting, is really digging into the meat of what it means to live there.
What the fuck?
Huh?
Crisps my dollar.
I'm not gonna repeat myself.
No. I don't need you to. I have that. We're not walking away. Like, we're going back to the Western talk. I just want to be like, the fuck?
I was trying to think of a good fucking
I heard
What's my
you.
whistle? Does that make you feel better?
A little bit, because like I heard you so vehemently stumbling over yourself. I imagined it, and you came out with "crisp my dollar." It's like, is that a thing you can do? You can re-crisp a dollar?
I don't know. It makes a noise.
I suppose. I don't know.
I had to bully you for that one because that actually made me stop for a second.
No, please, no bully. I'm just a simple little bottom.
You literally are attacking two of my favorite genres. Go fuck yourself.
No bully, please. I am just a little baby. Little baby with who can't even reach the whole desk.
Cat does not even know ABCs. No, I that's like one of the things that I think is like so freeing about like, I do not like westerns like this, the stereotypical one. I purely look for like gothic western, sci-fi western, fantasy western, because like it is truly, as you said, you're taking the vibes and then you're putting it into something else and then having the fun of explaining, all right, why do cowboys on motorcycles exist? Like, I'm doing this, but now I have to think of a fun, creative way of why this works. And that's where I think, like, that shit comes into a lot of fun. Meanwhile, the opposite, I mentioned samurais, like, Kurosawa films and whatnot were, like, so influential for, like, how, like, the most popular Western movies and, like, modern, like, Western games and shit do their stories. What I think is such a funny comparison with that too is that, like, yeah, you get the sci-fi and the sci-fi and fantasy samurai tropes, but like a lot of samurai media is pretty like when you think samurai, you do immediately think positively of like, yes, the samurai warrior. When it's like, nah, samurai were like fucking assholes, dude. They were the worst.
Yeah, they were like shit-eating lords.
Like, and I'm someone who loves Japanese history saying this. Like, I'm just saying, like, they're real. Like, it's so funny that we look at samurai. It's like, yes, the noble samurai. It's like they are arguably worse, or at the very least, just as bad as cowboys.
Well, I think that's one of those maturing is realizing that good guys aren't really a thing, quote unquote, TM, right? There is no like, yes, the great hero of the era. It's like, but I mean, there's a reason they could go in and solve the problems they could solve, and that's because they were effectively the law, which makes them cops.
Yeah.
Which means so like anything that you could tack onto that also goes into whatever that thing is. So it's like a lot of people have this great appreciation for, old-timey sheriffs being the lone bastion of law and order in a lawless land. It's like, but there was a government. There was a whole government that was like supposed to be running things.
Right.
It wasn't like there was nothing there. Like, cowboys didn't settle the West. The West was settled by the time the quote-unquote cowboy was a thing. So it's like, And then you look at samurai, it's like, they lived with honor and by their code. And it's like, but they were also rich assholes who did whatever they wanted to poor people. So it's like, there's this
hence the villains of the samurai film.
Yeah, no, but like, and that's like what's so interesting is that like, even when Westerns were popular, they were already like showing off of like, hey, like our ideals have changed. Shitty lord samurais and shitty sheriffs are the bad guys. The Lone Ranger and the Ronin are the true hero. And like, while that also was not true, like, come on, you're gonna root for the underdog.
Yeah. I think that's just kind of like a natural thing.
Yeah, even when the underdog is not necessarily a great person. Because even when they're not necessarily a great person, listen, the alternative is that asshole over there.
Yeah. And like, I think like that's collectively. Sorry, go ahead. You were saying stuff.
Well, I was just gonna say, like, that's the reason with something like Samurai Champloo works so well, where none of the main characters are that great. Like, objectively, the best character morally in that show is I can't remember her name anymore.
But like the female lead, we'll just say the female lead.
Yeah. She's like the most sound character, and even she is like morally dubious, like in a similar way to like Nami from One Piece, where it's like, I'll rob anybody.
Yeah.
Like, I'll feel bad about it if there's a reason to feel bad about it, but I'll still.
But until I've shown that there's a reason, I'm going to do it.
Yeah. So it's like you have that, whereas like Mugen is just a bastard. He's just a bastard
with cool moves, though.
Well,
more
more importantly, like, Mugen is a bastard, but like there is this clear threshold where it's like, listen, I may be a drunk and a bit of a misogynist, but like what you're doing is just evil, and I do not tolerate evil. Go fuck off.
Like, I do not tolerate evil, but also I'm a violent son of a bitch, and no one seems to care when it's you assholes I'm being violent against. You just made the list. Congratulations, let's play.
Right, and like there's like a level of catharsis to that, of being like, man, I wish I was the guy who was so good that nobody fucked with him, but I also had that moral compass and was also like able to vent my anger. It is, listen, I'm ratting on myself 100%. This is why I like westerns. It's why I like playing gunslinger type characters who are like very like smarmy, maybe a little lecherous, but like when like it's so fucking obvious, clear as day. Oh, you kidnapped children. I'm gonna shoot you now until you stop doing that, which means die. Because like I feel like there's like a reality to that. Like there's layers there that even if it's just like only 3 layers, it's still layers.
It's like, even with characters like, fuck, I, I'm so bad at remembering my own characters' names. That's why they're all AJ. The Demon Hunter I played in one of your games, where it's like he was a bad person who bad things happened to, so he's trying to be less bad, but not trying to be more good.
Yeah.
And so, like, when the opportunity arises to, like, punish someone who's out here doing something bad, he's like, oh, y'all just want to have a trial and maybe put him in jail. No, 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 no. I'm going to do something that'll stay with him. And then, like, carves the word rat into his forehead for being a traitor. And
yeah.
It's like, that sort of, like, yeah, no, when you need someone who does the bad things but does them on your behalf, I'm your guy. Like, those characters are really fun to play and to play around with.
That.
Yeah.
I love that Inglorious Bastards energy so
yes,
much.
and like that, and then like that's the big thing is that like I will always I criticize, and I like this is like where I falter as like a world builder, and like something that so a GMless run me and 2 other content creators, Rara Buns and Serious Wayward, do on every other Sunday or so. I was trying to like I would get like a little defensive of like the world I created, and both of them very factually came to me and were like, do you want us to like flesh out your world with you, or do you want to just run the game? And it was at that moment I realized, oh, I've made a precious little utopia that can't be fucked with. That's bad. I need to fix this. So now fixing it is probably going to be burning the city down. And I'm like, no, it's okay. I can fit this into the history so the city comes back and it's not stupid. It's like you need to have characters, even a city, have flaws. It's why you like cannot make things like going back to the Superman thing. Superman has flaws. Like everyone's like, oh, he's such a Boy Scout. It's like, yeah, that's also kind of a flaw. Like he's such a good person who cares that like it's almost self-destructive, and the only reason Superman gets away with it is because he's Superman. And even that's not enough sometimes. Like, media literacy is dead.
Yeah, and like, that's kind of like, as much as I rag on superheroes in like my free time, I think the worst things that I can ever experience from superheroes is the fucking people who are like, is going back to the boys a little bit, is people who kind of look at superheroes and go, "Peh, what if they were just mean? What if they were just mean? What if they were just like, what if like morality with this just didn't exist?
What if Batman became the Joker?
What if Batman shot a gun?"
I'll even give you one better. This is like one of my biggest critiques against The Boys, which is The Boys is not a teardown of superhero media, but it looks like one. The Boys is a teardown of celebrity.
Yes. And maybe a hot take. I feel like if that, like, I have not watched more than like a season or two of The Boys, so like I cannot talk too much shit. But like I had my fill of that premise for 2 seasons, and they're like what, on season 6?
I have no idea. I didn't realize this thing was still going.
I'm gonna look it up. I'm pretty sure it's still going. Hold on.
Remember when shows ended? That's crazy, isn't it?
Oh no!
I mean,
like, they've got a season coming out. So, actually, apparently, Misha Collins and Jared Padalecki are supposed to show up in this one because Eric Kripke refuses to use like different people.
okay.
I think...
Season 5 is going to be the final season, and it is coming out. Okay, so this is actually kind of good, because one of my biggest complaints of like a lot of shows is that they like not enough know to end around season 4 or 5.
Hinga's hands, the shows never end.
Yeah, so like
Well,
it's
like,
actually kind of
Supernatural
nice to
had,
see
what,
that The Boys is
15?
gonna end.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of glad to hear that. Especially with the nature of The Boys. That's a show that cannot persist forever.
Well, not only that, but I also feel like we are. I could not tell you where I first heard this, but the we go into these waves of cynicism and then hyperfixating on optimism and then going back into cynicism. We saw it in the 90s going into the 2000s. We saw it in the 2000s going to the 2010s. The 2010s brought the Marvel boom, and now in the going into the 2020s, we had but what if superheroes bad? And now we're going from 2020 to 2030, and we're back to optimism.
Oh yeah, because like I saw, like, I never watched it yet. I kind of want to, if I'm being honest, but like everyone seems to have come out of the woodwork and been like fucking raving about the new Superman movie.
Yeah, and
for
the
all of the
Yeah.
reasons that people are bashing on everything else right now.
Yeah, and like the only people who do not fuck with this version of Superman are the people who like have a Bible for Zack Snyder and like, no, superheroes but dark. It's like, no, you had your fun for 10 years. It's my turn now.
Like, the people who have been trashing Superman are the same people that watched. I don't know if either of you are familiar with Superman versus the Elite. It's an animated
Yes.
DC thing, and these gritty, grimdark urban heroes come out and start killing super like criminals. Superman isn't messing with it. Folks are starting to say Superman's a pussy, yada yada yada, and so Superman decides to say, "Oh, you think this is what you want? Let me show you what that looks like." Proceeds to make it look like he's tearing these people apart and leaving them for dead. And there was like, "You're a monster." It's like, if I did things the way y'all were telling me to, yes, I would have. But luckily for all of us, I'm not.
But luckily, Superman turns his ball cap around where like the bill is facing on the front as he goes, "Psych!"
Oh God. I wasn't prepared for that. That psych hit me hard. But yeah, so it's like, and there's that great moment of, oh, yeah, we got a little bloodthirsty there, huh? Our bad.
And like, mind you, like, this is not also me personally advocating for like superheroes should be good and never do anything bad ever. I'm gonna be real. Batman should kill the Joker. Either that, or he should be like, Jason, I cannot condone killing the Joker. It's just too bad I didn't get here in time. Like, I get why Bruce can't kill, because he knows he's crazy and would snap. But, like, I've never enjoyed the idea that Batman would not let Jason Todd kill the Joker. It is one of those things where I feel like Bruce should be like, Jason, I can't kill the Joker. It's not what I need. I do not judge you, but the Joker has to be the last one. This has to be it.
It's one of the really annoying things about like the way to like the impact of adaptation, right? Because there was a bit in the comics a few years back where KGB's tried to kill Nightwing, shot him in the head, and left him for dead. He lost his memory. He started calling himself Rick with a C for some reason. We don't talk about it often. Anyways, Batman found out about it, came and found KGB's, beat the shit out of him, and left him like lying broken in the Siberian tundra. And he's like, hey, I'll die if you leave me here, but if you get me to civilization where I can get to a hospital, I'll tell you who hired me.
Batman being Batman,
Batman. And he just walks off and leaves the guy in the snow. Because that's the kind of person Bruce Wayne is. This whole thing of, why won't he just kill the Joker? He can't let himself do that. He's only saved the Joker twice, and only because more people would have died if the Joker stayed dead. Nightwing killed him once. That's a thing in the comics. Nightwing killed the Joker once. The Joker had a dead man switch attached to it, rigged to a pacemaker, so that if his heart stopped, bombs full of Joker toxin would explode all over Gotham. Like, literally on some Batman just found out Nightwing is going after the Joker, got there just as the Joker's heart stopped and restarted it. After Jason Todd died.
And
Batman went and hunted the Joker down,
And that's
Superman stopped him. Blame Superman.
Yeah, and again, like you said, the only reason he did it was because more people are gonna die if I let the... And here's the other thing, too. Like, one of my favorite things, if we're also looking at other media, depending on your persuasion of, like, what parts of the Batman animated series are more canon than others, Bruce has let the Joker die several times.
Yeah.
The Joker is, like, falling to his death. I vividly remember, I do not remember what episode or what special it was, but it was canon with the 90s animated series. Batman saves Harley from dying, but Joker presumably falls to his death. And Harley says something like, oh no, Puddin'. And Batman, I'm paraphrasing, but basically says, good fucking riddance.
Yeah.
Like, thank God I could only save one of you.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, oh
that's
no.
the way it should be, man.
So to bring this back to like what the original topic point is, like, I do not subscribe to the idea of like good is good and bad is bad. It's like, no, some people just need to die for the betterment of everyone.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that the decision comes lightly, and I'm not saying that anyone should not just anyone should be making that decision. But let's be real.
Yeah. Yeah. We gotta. There's a line.
And
There's a line.
And that is like something within superhero media where it's like to once again kind of bring this even further back into the main topic. It's why I don't fuck with comic books. I think I'm gonna get a lot of people mad. I love the media of artistic drawing and reading, but the comic book industry is niche almost as a punishment because it's so garbage. Comic books are trash, and you're a raccoon if you read them.
Listen. All I'm saying is this tastes terrible. You gotta.
No, wait, Warren, that was an accidental racism. You can't agree with me. Son of a bitch! I did it to myself. No.
Basil meant this from the very beginning. This is all intentional.
Basil strikes not so secret racist. Says a slur to co-host.
Another one for the doc.
All right, to amend myself slightly, realizing, oh man, I can't use trash pandas for an analogy. If you read and like comic books without addressing their issues, you're a fucking trash goblin.
This is fair.
What would you
This
say is
fair.
the issue with comics?
Oh, easy. First, there's three major ones. First, continuity gets treated like an abusive relationship.
Okay.
Any continuity that is good that people like historically gets thrown out the window because the companies don't know what else to write. One More Day is always going to be my go-to thing of Peter Parker should have stayed married to Mary Jane, and the adventure should have been grown-ass Peter Parker being Spider-Man, which is hilarious, but also aggravating, because that's all Peter Parker is nowadays. He is either in another universe being a teenager, or in another universe being an adult, and we still have never fixed it. It's something every Spider-Man fan fucking wants, and will never get it, because the comic book writers don't want to fuck with the status quo, unless the status quo needs to be fucked with to keep the status quo.
Like, even with the new Ultimate Universe, which is distinct from the old Ultimate Universe, because reasons we're not going to get into, because we are not a comic book podcast. This newest version of Peter Parker is a grown man with a wife and kids, who then becomes Spider-Man as an adult, and it's a whole thing, and it's really charming, and it's really sweet, and his daughter helps him pick out the colors for his costume. It's awesome. How dare you rob us of that, Marvel, in the first fucking place, right?
So wait. I actually know about that. What you're talking? Did they cancel that run?
No, that run is still ongoing. So
Oh, thank God.
Yeah. So it's not its own standalone universe. Like, everything going on over there is interacting with the mainstream universe. Miles Morales accidentally ended up over there. So now he's helping out, trying to solve all that shit, mostly just because he's trying to get his sister out of there. But it's the whole thing. We're not getting into it again.
No. Which we're gonna briefly come back to that for a different point, but continue.
Yeah. But there is something really great about getting to see a version of that character who is an adult, who has a steady job, who is also a superhero, and has a loving family. And it works and everybody loves it.
And
But they're never going to make that Spider-Man.
I'll bet you anything the only reason that Marvel allowed that was because of the popularity of Hobo Spider-Man from Into the Spider-Verse.
Honestly, yeah, probably.
So, with that said, that's also my other part 2 issue. Multiverse has become not fun because of superheroes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I understand the issue that comes there with comics. I definitely agree that, like, the thing with, like, comics and franchises on the whole, with, like, especially, like, larger superheroes, is that, I made, like, a joke earlier that I was like, oh yeah, well, man, remember when things used to end? And, like, that's kind of the problem and that's kind of the problem that I think a lot of superhero media is that it's too afraid to end because it is beholden to its capitalist masters, and therefore it is going to continue pumping out things whether or not it's good or makes sense.
Here's like a counter argument that I think has merit but is only half cocked. The idea of, like, the reason why superheroes keep getting rebooted is because superheroes, in a way, are the modern Greek myth, where, like, we keep retelling the stories and adding on to them because these heroes are so iconic. And I partially agree with that, but the problem is we don't get satisfying endings to, like, other versions of those same heroes. They either get unceremoniously scrapped before they get a proper conclusion, get completely retconned as if to say, oh, that never happened. Not, hey, this was one interpretation, now we do another, which is what most TV shows do. If you look at a superhero TV show, you're like, oh, that is an interpretation of Spider-Man. But in the comic books, it's, no, that Spider-Man doesn't matter. That Spider-Man never mattered.
See, I would agree with that, but the thing that I have with it is that unlike Greek myths, our superheroes are beholden to copyright law, so it's basically in the same house as the people that is telling them that have been telling them forever. So it's akin to like if Homer was writing about the gods and he was the only person who could do it forever.
Yup.
Yeah.
So it feels it feels weirder. I would be more fine with it if it was like a like public domain property. Like I feel like a better example for almost describing like what this could be is akin to like the Cthulhu mythos and the monsters that come from that. You can make a lot of different iterations and settings that involve it, but they are essentially different things. It's like a touchstone rather than it is. It's like a touchstone rather than it is just like like a thing that is owned and like has continuity and is connected together.
What I would
The long and short here is I think that like if it was away from it, if it was away from like where it is, I feel like I feel like it could be more of a true mythos. And we wouldn't have to care about like the individual like settings and alternate universes and shit.
The argument that I would have with this, which doesn't like erase what you're saying is 100% accurate, but I would also say that like one of the things that makes the potential of superheroes is that anyone could just do their own Spider-Man comic but not call it Spider-Man. Like, we've seen different superhero media have Spider-Man and not let it be Spider-Man. The problem is, most of the time, those Spider-Man knockoffs are just knockoffs. They're not really trying to, like, emulate the fun of it. Like, I shit you not, if somebody went out and made a My Spider-Sona comic and, like, they put their whole ass into it, and like in the era of the internet, like where you could not sell that, but you could put it up for free and then make money off of either advertisements or Patreon, and that shit was telling better stories than Spider-Man, which is not a high bar, then you've got superhero mythos. Because like you said, it's not attached to the corporate, and it's just the people telling the narrative of spider superhero, superior human superhero. But the problem in doing that is not even a problem, really. It's just eventually people are like, oh, well, I'm practically doing my own thing at this point. I might as well just do something other than Spider-Man and just do something original.
Yeah.
It's like, there's a content creator, Nicholas Draper Ivy. That's pretty much how he got his start. Was like he was making like this sort of like he had this alternate universe concept art for Marvel characters, and he had started building the story of what that was, and then he just started saying, I have a lot of ideas, I should just make a comic. And then he's recently gotten to the point where it's like, I hate comics. Like the construct of the comic book space sucks. I'd much rather do this like a manga. So that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah,
where it's like it's a lot less disposable. You're not as beholden to like tropes as you would be working within comics, and it's just like, yeah, you're basically writing a book, but you're using pictures more often than words.
And what's so funny is like, I think you put it perfectly. It's like when even like the cheapest manga is still printed on paper that's longer lasting and less like subject to getting damaged, where comics are like made on shitty fucking ass paper that like does not feel good in your hand.
Yeah. I guess I'm a little bit more willing to go to bat for comics, I think, than others here. But I think for different reasons. Like, I don't exactly think that like comics as an industry is nice, but I think about all of my experiences that I've ever had with like a really fucking good manga, and I'm like, can I really discount this as a medium?
Well, see, and this is where it's like that's what I'm saying, right? Is that like like American comics and manga or even manhwa are like they're all in the same, hey, we're telling our story through a similar-esque format, but they're all drastically doing it differently that have different cultural ties and different quality. Like, massive bias, I think manga is far superior than your standard American comic, both in like the stories that are being told and like the quality of the actual product in your hand. And I say that still saying anime and manga is shit. So much of it is garbage, just like comics, but there's more good shit that's consistently good.
I'm taking that back right now.
Like,
you shut your pretty little mouth before I shut it for you.
you gonna kiss me? Like,
maybe. Oh my
like,
God.
like that goes back to like my original thing is that like comics like have the same characters doing the same shit, and it never sticks, and it's always treated and disregarded. But in manga, you're seeing the same shonen characters, but they're going on slightly different journeys, and no matter what, no matter how good or bad it is, at the end of the story, it is, no, that happened. You have to deal with it, but it happened, end of the story. Comics don't do that.
I think one of my favorite, like, honestly, like, to put a really good point on it, one of my favorite examples of that is My Hero, right? Where, like, if no one minds spoilers.
I basically know what My Hero has done.
Okay.
Hold on, let
like,
me change the title. Okay, we're good.
Okay. So, where the main character loses his super cool MacGuffin shonen powers at the climax of the story. And then, like, he goes on to become a hero with, like, basically a tech suit that fakes some of his old powers in a way to get him back out in the field. But, like, one of the things I think is really interesting about it is, like, oh, no, we didn't come up with a thing at the last second. It's like, actually, we can get your powers back. Yeah, no, your powers are gone. They were a one-of-one thing that has only ever existed once in the history of humankind, and they were destroyed in the process of beating the bad guy. That sacrifice is not going away. That's a thing that happened. Sorry, bro. But that doesn't mean your story has to end. I would like if I saw more of that in superhero comics, I would respect the hell out of it. You know, like, oh, this character gave up their superpowers for X reason. Now they're this kind of character, right? Blue Marvel in Marvel, where like he used to be the Superman of the Marvel universe, but people found out he was black and they didn't like that, so he went and faded into obscurity, and he basically became like a philanthropist in the background. And then occasionally, when they need a guy with his specific powers, like, I guess I'll go ahead and take off the business suit and put on something a little more serviceable since you need me. But I don't really do the superhero stuff anymore. And he doesn't.
You don't ever get stories where it feels like people retire in like superheroes. It kind of feels like they're always going. And like a lot of like manga series, even ones that are particularly long running, have like a conclusion and their cast fades into the background if there's ever media that comes up from it in the future. Like the one example I think of right now, because it feels like it keeps cropping up in my life somehow, is Naruto. Where Naruto is like at the end of Naruto becomes the Hokage of the village, and in Boruto, he basically is just busy with paperwork the whole time, which is why he can't do all the crazy shit he used to.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things that kills me about the Boruto series is that, like, I like the initial concept of what they're trying to do. And I'm not saying Naruto isn't at fault and isn't being a neglectful father. Like, I think it's an interesting wrinkle to Naruto's character. He didn't really have parents growing up. He kinda knows, like, what it's like to have parents at the best of times, but, like, it's generational trauma is what it is. So, like, it's very interesting for him to, like, be that kind of neglectful, and for Boruto to rightfully call him out and be like, I need you home. I need you to be a dad. But also, I want to kill Boruto. I want to murder a child. He is such a self-righteous, petulant little shit who is he is literally the example. He is the conservatives' #1 example of these damn kids these days don't get it.
I actually, so like, to be clear, I am mostly piecing through Boruto from what I have heard secondhand. I have not actually experienced a lot of Boruto. But for some reason, my fucking, like, news feeds consistently give me things about fucking Boruto updates. I don't fucking know why. So I know about Boruto against my will is the way I will describe it.
Listen,
Like,
that's my most of my relationship with Naruto too. So like, more things change.
Like, I sought out Naruto, like, sometimes I would, like, read things about Naruto so that I could be, like, an informed citizen, almost. Because there was...
I'm doing my part!
Like, occasionally I'd be like, oh, what the hell is going on in Naruto right now? Oh, they're in the middle of the Shinobi War. Okay, neat. And then I didn't touch it for months, and then I came back and like, what do you mean there's a person coming out of the moon? What the fuck is this?
just Naruto and Sasuke walking past the screen. Wizards on the moon. What? Walking back, superpowered wizards on the moon.
Like, I think it's one of my favorite things about the idea of Boruto as a show, or like as its own standalone manga, is just the idea of, oh, here's this crazy shit none of us knew existed. Oh, right, we were supposed to tell somebody about that.
There's so much weird shit that's happening in Boruto right now. I feel like they're in their Shippuden arc as far as I can tell now. And like some of the shit that has happened that I have read about is like insane on like an escalation perspective for any show. Like this is like, so like if a separate better show did this, they would have created DBZ, they would have created Dragon Ball Super. But if it's Boruto, they get so close to the line of being absurd that you cannot fathom how like any character can like be at the extent of the power scale that they are. There is like world rewriting Gyases for people's minds that are at play. There's a fucking tree that's a god or some shit. I don't fucking know. There's a bunch of moon people that keep showing up. Incidentally, can I just say my least favorite trope of all time? Moon people. Fucking hate people that live on the moon.
So
Go live on a real planet, you fucking losers.
So
get out of the moon.
All I'm hearing is that like from the end of Shippuden to Boruto, we can literally summarize the entirety of the plot as the moon haunts you.
Yes.
Yes.
I am not kidding. The final fight in Naruto before the Sasuke Naruto fight is with the woman that comes out of the moon because they put the infinite Tsukuyomi on the fucking moon.
I remember,
and then some woman pops out and raises hell.
I remember
some rabbit lady happened. Anyways,
I remember when that happened, it was just like that was the craziest it could get, and I almost feel I feel fully vindicated to know that literally just Boruto upwards. It's just moon people from here. That's all it ever
just
is.
Keeps becoming moon people. One of my low key like favorite things that ever happened in Naruto is in like one of the blank period films that they did, specifically where Hinata gets kidnapped and put on the
Oh my god! Naruto fights a guy it just hit me! Oh my god! It's just moon people!
It is just
like,
moon people!
No, hey, so we're stealing this girl because I like her, and you can't do anything because we're on the moon.
Yeah, exactly.
That was the whole movie.
I actually
my
liked
favorite
that
part-
movie, and I never made that connection before.
My favorite part of that movie was watching it without context, and I just see this I just see this man, the fucking Raikage, sitting there, and he's like, I'm gonna blow up the goddamn moon. I'm gonna blow up the goddamn moon. And I'm sitting here looking at my housemate, and I tell him, he's gonna ruin the tides. What the fuck? Get this man away from the gun that can shoot the moon.
He's gonna pull a Dragon Ball.
He's gonna blow up
Yeah.
the moon. We have to get him away from there.
Listen. There's 3 people on the planet who can stop him, and one of them is trying to get to the moon, and the other one doesn't give a shit. No one's stopping this man.
This man is insane. The Raikage in the original Naruto scares the shit out of me conceptually because there are 2 things that stick in my mind about this man. The first time I ever watch anything that he's involved with, he threatens to blow up the moon with a gun 3 times. The second time I watch anything that he's in...
I love the idea that, like, every time this man is inconvenienced, he threatens to blow up the moon.
The second...
Like, my coffee doesn't have enough sugar. I'm gonna blow up the moon. Wait,
is moon destruction gun.
Is Raikage just Dr. Eggman from Snap Cube?
Basically,
I'm gonna piss on the moon.
No, like he's actually one of those like characters in Naruto that lets you know how terrifying people in the Naruto universe are. Because like this man also cuts people's heads off with wrestling moves.
the man also, casually, his arm just catches on fire, and instead of, doing anything to put it out, just cuts off his arm. Casually. He just does it without thinking.
Wait, hold on. What? Hold on, what?
Yeah.
Oh my god, there's so much about Naruto I actually still don't know.
The Raikage is an insane man, and they gave him power. They gave this man the position of one of the most powerful villages in the entire Naruto world.
I'm just
doomed.
I don't even believe there was an election process. I think he thought that was a comfy chair. He sat in it, and they said, "I guess he wants the job. You have the job now."
I mean, would you tell him otherwise? He literally combusts for fun, and then chops his arm off to stop when he feels too hot from the self-combustion. I wouldn't tell him shit either.
Like, everyone thought it was so cool when Kakashi and Sasuke were coating their arms in lightning and stabbing people in the chest with it. This man said, I've been doing that since I was 5. Proceeded to cut somebody's head off with a fucking flying lariat. Like, just caught somebody with the inside of his elbow and cut their head off with it.
He's fucking insane.
Just imagine.
The Raikage scares the ever-living shit out of me. There is few characters that inspire literal fear in me. And I hope that I can ever emulate that level of terror in, a nation I write.
Just imagine.
Tsunade is a drunken, gambling-addicted slob who, at the merest inconvenience, might decide to destroy a local mountain range with her hands.
Just imagine the Raikage. Just imagine, this old, potato-bodied, senile man, right? He, somebody takes away his moon-exploding gun, and he's just alright, fine, I'll do it myself. And you just hear echoing in space, BAGO! As he, RKO's the moon!
I believe he could do it.
BAGO! He's gonna take out the moon!
This is, if I could, this is the biggest problem I had with the idea of Boruto when it first started, which is, you get introduced to Boruto, and you're like, nah, I'm gonna kick my dad's ass, and all I can think of is, so listen, I know every kid has that moment at some point, but I need you to remember, your dad is basically Jesus.
Yeah, Naruto is Ninja Jesus, and that's a whole other thing about Naruto I don't want to get into right now.
Like,
I
that is
gotta
Ninja
show
Jesus.
you. I don't know if you know what the Raikage looks like, Basil, so I gotta show you him.
He is
happily.
beef. He is beef.
Yep,
He is
he's
braised
Oh,
beef.
no. That looks like a man who wants to blow up the moon. You can see that in his eyes. You can see the
he's
crazy in his
crazy.
eyes.
He's nuts. I love him.
His mustache matches his eyebrows. That man is not sane.
Yep,
No.
when going to like the Shinobi conference, he gets attacked by one of the fucking Akatsuki people who does the Amaterasu on him. So his arm is just burning, and instead of dealing with the fact that his arm is burning, he just cuts it off.
Does he grow
So,
it
like,
back
for a good
later?
portion- I don't remember.
I don't think he does. Like, on some,
Yeah.
hey, so we can fix that if you want. It's like, I don't need two arms. The fuck?
He's just like, nah, it's okay. I'm left-handed anyway.
I just love that he casually just takes off his arm. This
Like,
man is insane.
It's literally like, huh? Well, that's unfortunate. Shot. Like,
Ugh.
like Naruto is such an anime ass anime. And I
Yeah.
don't think it gets enough appreciation for that fact. I really don't.
I'm in the opposite end. I think Naruto gets way too much praise for being a C tier popcorn series at best.
No,
I
what
think
I'm
it's
saying
a
is-
lot better than people give credit for. I'm with you. I'm with you, Worm.
but like what I'm saying is, it's in the sense of like, I love Bleach, right? I don't think Bleach is like a really great anime. What I think is, if you were looking for a anime that is all about people fighting when they probably don't have to, where everything looks amazing because the person who made it should have been a fucking fashion designer, you want Bleach. You want
Yeah,
Bleach.
Bleach-
The music always goes hard and everybody is dripped the fuck out. It's great. I love it.
Yep,
It
Bleach
is
is
not-
really stylistic. I love Taichi Kubo's art a lot. He's really, really talented, and he was like,
Yeah.
when I used to draw, he was one of my inspirations for art. Because I really liked a lot of the stuff that he did, and I thought it was really cool. But the thing I will give Naruto credit for that I don't think a lot of people think about is that Naruto is really good at building a history, and its world building is legitimately actually interesting.
It's Game of Thrones without the pessimism.
Yeah.
I will agree with that. However, my bias is you can have the dumbest, shittiest world building, and I will still eat up your story if the characters are fun. If like the people in your world are interesting. I'm on the opposite spectrum of I like world building. I'm also trash at it, but where I do think I shine and what I do focus on is the people, because to me, people are what make a world interesting. World building makes it interesting to see how people react, and that's where I feel like Naruto falls off for me, because like, yeah, Naruto does have decent world building. Too bad like 90% of your cast is annoying, stupid, or dead.
I mean,
Yeah, a
look,
lot of
I
the most
can't
interesting
talk.
stuff in Naruto happened in the past.
Yeah, I can't talk. I'm a Tokyo Revengers fan.
I don't know what
None of those
I have
characters
no
are
context for Tokyo Revengers. What does that say? What does that mean about you?
none of those characters are above the age of 15, and they're all shithead teenagers who want nothing out of life, are going nowhere, and all they've got is gang violence.
I'm too old to enjoy that.
Like, cause look, part of it, I'm not gonna lie. Part of it, I'm not gonna lie. That was the life I wanted when I was a shithead teenager.
Right,
It's
catharsis for you.
Like people, yeah. But like, to take that against something like a Yu Yu Hakusho, where like you have that kind of like thuggish sort of baseline for most of your characters, where it's just a bunch of people who think throwing hands is a good substitute for having adult conversations with people, but also they're saving the world with superpowers. It's very surface. It's pretty surface level. It's good popcorn anime. I love it. So like, to then come to something like a Naruto or a Bleach is just like, hey, this this is that, but with extra this or with less that.
But you're
I-
really doing a good job of pitching Tokyo Revengers to me. I fucking love you.
Okay, I would say, because I actually looked up and I'm like, oh no, I do know what Tokyo Revengers is. I would say Yu Yu Hakusho is much better, but I'm old and biased.
It is. Like, cause here's the thing. Tokyo Revengers is the softest launch for an isekai plot in the world because it's just bootleg time travel. Like, homie gets hit by Truck-kun as an adult, wakes up as his teenage self, and occasionally like wakes up in the present to find the present has changed. So he keeps going back to try to fix things, and of course he fucks them up more. But like the mechanism is so like poorly founded that no one really cares about the time travel fixing the future plot. It's just like, what about the ignorant ass gang violence? That's what we're all here for. Like, there's a 12-year-old kid who kicks people hard enough to put them through car doors. It's great.
I love that. You're really selling me on Tokyo Revengers. I'm not gonna lie. Am I gonna go read Tokyo Revengers after this?
Oh.
Not in public, obviously.
Because
of the
have some self-respect.
Heaven forbid, so unorthodox.
You can't read Tokyo Revengers in public, but not for the reason you'd expect. Because that's what I knew Tokyo Revengers for before this. Is that it had that symbol in the logo.
But wait, what if imagine a world where like that was the reason? It's like, what's next? You're going to listen to Rage the Machine while going to the grocery store? Oh, it's most unorthodox.
I've listened to worse things inside of a grocery store.
Listen, if your playlist is anything like my wife's, you've listened to the most bubblegum sluttiest pop while trying to pick up mayonnaise.
I don't think it's the same. I think it's oh god, am I gonna talk about my music taste now? Okay, okay.
Let's talk.
Okay,
No, wait,
sure.
Hold up. No, I'm grabbing my teacup, I'm crossing my legs, dish.
Alright, so I gotta level with you all. Your girly is a very, very, very big metal fan. And you can... Yeah, and I used to be really into it, especially in high school. And my genre of choice in high school was, and if you know anything about this, you're going to understand why I say I've listened to worse things in a grocery store immediately. My genre of choice was black metal. Which is which is a genre with a history.
Yes, it is.
I
am unironically
imagining save your pity for the weak. That is what I'm imagining. Disrespect your surroundings. That is.
I fucking wish.
I love that. Like, this is like, I was, as you were saying that, was like, please say metal, please say metal, please say metal.
I am a metal fan. I am a big metal fan. I love all kinds of different metal. My genres of choice nowadays are like, honestly, I've been getting into a lot of more mainstream stuff because, believe it or not, like, nu metal is back in vogue, and some of the acts that are coming out right now are really fucking good. Like, I've been listening to a lot of Spirit Box recently, and I don't know if y'all know Spirit Box, but Spirit Box is fucking nice. Really nice to just kind of like bop to. Obviously, like, anyone who knows me very well knows that I have a bit of a that my hyperfixation for the better part of a year has been Sleep Token.
What? Anyways, what?
Oh. I did also get sidetracked about my history with black metal and how it's very sordid. Black metal is a genre for... How much do you both know about black metal in general?
I
You
I know a
ahead.
fair deal. I am a somewhat recovered metalhead.
I understand. I understand. So I'm maybe not going to be telling you things that you already know. Basil, what did
Uh,
you say?
so I have found as I've gotten older that I've never been musically literate. I will find certain sounds and certain songs and sometimes certain bands that I like, but
Mhm.
like I am not loyal to any musician. Like I will flip-flop between what I feel like listening to. I go through music genres like my underwear. Like I love music, I really do. But like I have never been the person that can like long form appreciate what music is doing for people outside of just this sounds nice and lets me play a music video in my brain.
Absolutely. I listen, shaking hands on that one. Just gonna put that out there. Just shaking hands real fucking hard on that. But I feel like I got to explain the lore of black metal because this is a genre that's fucking insane. And many of the artists that are in it are insane. So black metal is like a really heavy genre of metal. It's kind of in the same category as stuff like death metal or thrash metal, if you know what either of those are. It's gonna be like a really kind of like heavy, fast genre with a lot of like it's gonna have a lot of like blast beats. It's gonna have a lot of stuff like it's gonna have kind of like some like shrieking vocals, which isn't like the death growl. It's more like
I,
where they all
I
sound like fucking ring wraiths.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna be real. It just sounded the same. It sounded the same to me.
Yeah, the difference is that a black metal person sounds like, or a death metal artist sounds like the Cookie Monster. A black metal artist sounds like a Nazgul. That's the difference. Like they're gonna sound like they're screaming and trying to run after a hobbit. That's what they sound like.
cookie. That's good enough for me.
Like,
Yeah.
like the way I've always put it is like, okay, does it sound like that when they're screaming? Does it sound like their throat is full of spit or blood?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think that's actually a pretty good comparison too, because like, yeah, yeah. But black metal is also one of its like one of its like core tendencies. Do we also have to follow the no cursing rule? Just curious.
I'm ignoring it. It's a point. I should have erased that. I'm ignoring that.
All right. Well, I'm not gonna curse. Uh, so black metal also has like specifically as a genre, its lyrical content has a lot of like I think the way I would describe it is very anti-Christian, sometimes pagan, almost always satanic. And some of the people in this genre do not are like live that lifestyle quite legitimately. If you've ever seen bands that have like a lot of fucking like I broke the rule. I broke the rule. If you've ever
Go to
seen
jail.
bands,
You
okay.
now have to go to gay baby jail.
Oh no, with all the gay babies.
No, I don't. No, I don't. I take it back. I don't want you going into gay baby jail now. That was it. Oh no! Please don't punish me.
Don't punish me and put me in the gay baby jail. Whatever will I do?
I don't want. I don't even want to do this. You made it weird.
But like, so like another thing with black metal artists is that they have like kind of this thing. They have like corpse paint. The best way I could describe it, it's like white and black, like sort of like stylized paint that's on their face. It's supposed to make them look dead. But for most people, it just makes them look like they're Kiss cover bands. For context. Uh,
I literally this whole conversation I just feel like the out of touch dad who's like, "Yep, that's me. I'm the one who thought that."
Yep. I mean, no, I mean that's what I thought when I got into it too, because I was like, why do they all look like Kiss? And then I found out why, and it's even sillier than you'd expect. But the thing with black metal is that a lot of the artists in it are crazy, or extremists, or both. There's been a lot of like the scene in Norway was
Diamond.
filled with. Hmm?
Oh, yeah. No, I've heard about
Yeah,
this actually. Meat Canyon did a video on this before.
yeah. The scene in Norway had a lot of people that did some church burnings, and they were pretty proud of that. There was also like a pretty. There's also been a lot of murders that have been attributed to them, and there's a lot of people that are a bit too. Well, let's just say they have a lot of bands in the space, like not like a majority, but enough that it is concerning, are very well, they have thoughts about the 1940s, we'll say. uh and that is
Insert clip of the black kid screaming, "That's racist."
yeah, exactly. So like, this is why I have to preface that, like, yeah, some of the stuff that I was into as a kid, I look back on and cringe a little bit, but there's still like some interesting stuff that comes out of there every now and then.
Wow,
I
Illith,
still
why
like,
would you have such a hobby that has so much racism in it hides my D&D books?
I we're listen, none of us are free from sin. Uh, uh that's how it is in this bitch of the earth. You just gotta like piece the good out of the bad. It's fucking ridiculous. Um but yeah, there's a lot of bands in that area that are just no. There's some good ones though. Some of the ones that I like that I still kind of go back to are Wolves in the Throne Room is a big one. They're actually based out of the United States, and a lot of their stuff is very like um it's very kind of back to nature type stuff, and they are explicitly um an anti-Nazi band, so that is one of the big pluses that I'll give them, is that they pretty soundly like nip that shit in the bud when they're a part of it too, which I think is cool. Um Another one that I really like that's kind of black metal-ish, but is more just kind of like extreme metal is Thonic. They're a Taiwanese band actually, and a lot of their members have actually done a lot of work with with humanitarian causes, and they do a lot of political outreach, which I think is cool. I like them. That being said, if you have a lot of sympathies with China, I don't recommend them. But that's about it. Uh,
I don't think we're gonna have a problem with that here,
yeah,
but you know.
yeah, they're very critical of both like Taiwanese history, because fun fact, did you know that Taiwan was basically colonized by Chiang Kai-shek and his army? These are things you learn when you're a fan of a band from Taiwan that is expressly political.
Oh man, you gotta love it though. You gotta love it.
Yeah, it keeps cropping up everywhere. Other
It's
band,
one of my favorite things about like they do that on the Boondocks with the kickball episode where like, hey, you there, you're under 15, right? Whatever age I need to be to crush the Chinese oppressors. Like, okay, okay.
and why are you here? I fucking hate Chinese.
Like,
I love that
he's
episode.
so loud about it. It's so great.
He's great. I love that. I love that episode.
I need to rewatch that show.
Like he has his fucking theater paint, face paint on and everything, and it's just
It's
great,
got the
man.
he's got the Tibetan flag pasted on his face. It's great. Oh man.
But yeah, man, metal is such an interesting scene. Like regardless of subgenre, just because it's like everything is so loud. Like, and I don't just mean like volume wise, but like as far as like how like strongly held the themes are. That like you can't escape what any given band is about, even when they're posers.
Yeah, metal is like really fucking. A lot of metal people are very like people kind of give punk, I feel like, a reputation of being really hard on its posers, but I think at the end of the day, punk is just a lot more of kind of just a rebellious thing. Metal people are fucking relentless on even a whiff of anything that seems poserish,
Yeah.
and to degrees sometimes that I think is a little silly. um like it was like it's difficult sometimes to parse what is quote real metal with a lot of metalheads. I think back to when I was kind of getting into the genre, and like I would like peruse around like fucking Last FM, if you remember that, or like
Oh
fucking Metal
yeah.
Archives, and I would be looking for things like, and I'd be looking through bands and stuff. And like one of the key things that Metal Archives has is like one of their notes is that they don't include any new metal, which is stuff like, say, like for Basil, because I'm guessing you already know a lot of this worm, is stuff like Slipknot, fucking Disturbed is new metal, uh, Limp Bizkit is new metal, uh, uh, those are kind of like your new metal bands, is what I'd put it at, are like what new metal bands are. So a lot of people that are in like metal spaces don't consider new metal like real metal. And then they started doing the same thing with like the genre evolution that came after that, which was metalcore. And I think that one is even dumber because metalcore is indistinguishable from like actual fucking metal, and I don't know why the fuck people get so hung up on it.
It's precious ass gatekeeping nonsense.
Yeah.
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 Um, like I think like what's always hit me about is like if you talk to any given like hardcore metalhead, they always have really strict ideas of what actually counts as metal. They take the subgenres very seriously. Like, no, you can't call that metal. That's new wave black metal. That's a whole different thing, man. It's like, but
Mhm.
No, you don't understand. That's not metal. That's mocha decaf chai latte metal.
Yeah, but you don't
like
understand. Yeah, but you don't understand. Alternate metal isn't really metal. It's like just hard rock. It's not hard and it's not metal enough. It's fucking dumb.
like I got to watch something akin to this. My wife had me watching this movie called Ghost World, and Steve Buscemi plays this guy who's really into blues, like Delta blues, and so she takes him out to this club. Introduces this girl, takes him out to this club, introduces him to a woman. They think they're getting along. It's like, oh, you like blues? You'll love this next group. And I'm looking at the group. I'm like, there's no way these guys play blues. This is at best a blues rock band, which is not blues at all. Oh God, it's a blues rock band. Oh no,
I,
this
th-
poor man.
I think what's even funnier is that like as you're describing this, I think you're also like kind of telling on yourself in a way where it's like, oh, so you're just the guy in this scenario.
Like no, because here's the problem. I like blues rock,
Right.
but
But
I'm
like I
looking at a
love how
guy
like
like
you clearly like associate with the guy like, oh, I see what's about to happen. He's not gonna be happy.
he's not gonna like. I was like, because it's like I don't have a preferred genre. I'm not allowed to have the aux chord because there's no telling what's going to play off of my playlist. All right, I will fuck up the vibe every time. We're having a
Mhm.
great time listening to some hard rock, and now there's some K-pop playing. Okay, I'm sorry. There's no consistency in my playlist. But like when I see someone who's like, yeah, they like their thing and nothing else. No hard rock, no pop, no anything. It's blues all day, every day. And then it's like, oh, then you'll love this. And then you play them something that's so divorced from the thing they're looking for. I know you're gonna have a bad time. I had a buddy in middle school, big fan of rap, big fan of rap, like gangster rap. Like he was as into rap at the time as I was into metal,
Mhm.
right? This is which is weird to say as a black man. This white dude introduced me to rap.
that is crazy.
So it was a weird situation. But the thing that was so great about it was like he was telling me about like the culture of like these different rap groups and rap scenes, and I'm over here like, oh, you like rap? So you like this, right? And I played him like some random top 40 rap shit that I had just started like getting into. It's like, that's not rap. This is rap. And he plays some like old school like 80s going into 90s hip hop stuff, which was amazing. But I'm like, oh, these aren't the same thing.
This is not
That's
the
what
same.
it is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so like I've always been taking that really seriously when people are like, oh, I like X things. Like, are you into things that are like that, or is that your thing?
And then
So it's just like,
I think that's like where I... Oh, sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
yeah, no, I was just saying. So it's like whenever these conversations about like, that's not really metal. It's like, okay, is it not really metal? Is it not the metal you like?
That's, I feel like, where, like, in a lot of aspects of my life, I've run into that. Like, any hobby or interest I have, I can never be... Like, the term casual gets thrown around a lot, and I've grown to disdain that a little bit. Because it depends on, like, what the context is. But, like, for instance, like, talking about, like, Final Fantasy XIV, a lot of people would throw around the term, oh, well, Basil, the reason why you haven't finished this content, or the reason why it's so hard for you to find people for rating stuff is because blah, 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 and you're just too casual about it. And, like, I've grown to disdain that a little bit, not because it's, like, it is a little true. I never go full, like, crotch deep in the pool. Like, I never go above my waist in the pool of anything I'm into, right? But, like, the idea that you have to go in the pool, under the water, no goggles, to be considered, like, worthy of, now you get it? In the case of MMOs, I will play as much as I like. I will find the groups that I need. I should not be asked to do more than a couple hours every, like 2 days out of the week. And if that's, like, oh, you'll never get it done, then I'll just do what I can. Like, if I don't experience the whole thing, that doesn't mean that I'm not enjoying the game. I've been playing for, like, almost 10 years. I'm a fan of 14, and I'm not a newbie. Maybe I'm a little bit of a casual, but, like, I'm still deeper than, like, your average person who will play the story mode and then walk the fuck away. Like, are they uber casual? Like, that's where, like, this labeling gets ridiculous. Then when it comes to, like tabletop RPGs, I've found that I don't like rules-heavy games. Like, I like playing Pathfinder, I don't like running it. Cypher is more my jam because it's very flexible. But you'll have that conversation of, well, you haven't played so many hours of this one game, / you haven't played more than 3 TTRPGs, so you're clearly not a fan of that. And I feel like that same logic goes into what you guys are talking about. Like, there's the people who like the vibe versus they only like this one thing.
Yep, absolutely. I think that's very true of, like, a lot of... Specifically, it's really common among metalheads because a lot of metalheads don't like to stray outside of metal. They kind of just, like, narrowly focus into it, and I think that's where a lot of the elitism comes in. I definitely, like, I'm definitely not what I would consider as much of a metalhead anymore. I think I've kind of expanded my, like, music taste a lot. Like, even some genres I didn't think I would ever be into, like, I even rock up with a little bit of country every now and then, which is, like, a thing I never expected to say in my life.
As we get ready to wrap up, I want to play a little game. I want to call it the Spotify game, since even chat is mentioning how there's zero consistency. I want us to talk about the first 10 songs in our liked playlists from, like, what's, like, either what you've listened to the most or whatnot. I will go first to show you where I'm coming from.
Okay.
So, this is based on the songs I've added to my playlist in the past month. All right. First, we've got Bones by Sail North. It's a pirate, very sea shanty song. Can't Stop Me Now from Oh the Larceny. Army of the Night by Powerwolf. And then the full lyric version of Driving in My Car right after a beer. Which then goes into the actual song of Bergen Truckin' from Undertale, the Wano theme Drums of Liberation from One Piece, Devil Trigger from Devil May Cry 5, and then A Little Bit Bad, a cover song from that Hispanic cartoon from Disney, but it's a cover of the Digital Circus cast singing that song.
Okay.
That's the kind of fuckery you're dealing with my Spotify.
So are we going from like our most listened, or are we going from like?
I would say go from whatever you want. I was just showing you because like I will listen to a song to death and then put it off of my liked songs playlist. These are the 10 songs I've recently been like binging the shit out of the past month.
Okay. My liked list is not like that. So I'm gonna probably No, my liked list is like 1,000 songs long, and it does not change because I will just forget about things that are on here. So I'm gonna kind of like condense down and kind of go into like vibes that have been permeating. So I'm gonna give like a broad summary of the last couple of months, maybe like the past year with that. So I guess first one that I'm gonna throw out here is I have been listening to the new President release, which is the newest song they have, Destroy Me. But I've been listening to that band on and off as they have been like sending out music. It's pretty good. I like them. I think the way I would describe it is they're very. If you've ever listened to a Sleep Token song, they're very Sleep Token-esque. They combine a lot of like new metal and like other forms of metal with like kind of like hip hop beats a lot, or like pop sensibilities. It's pretty nice. Um, Another one that I've been really into is I just discovered this band called Unprocessed. The song that has been like most in my rotation of theirs is Blackbone. It is, and what they are is they are a progressive metalcore band. So they have a lot of like jazzy riffs with a lot of, particularly like a lot of like heavy like guitar and stuff, but it's more jazz guitar than it is metal guitar is the way I would describe it. So it's very kind of just like, does the term noodle mean anything to you?
I'm gonna say no.
they, their guitarists go really crazy, but it's like and to an extent that some people might find it self-indulgent, but I don't. I like it. Uh I started listening to Radiohead recently. Like somehow I had missed Radiohead entirely, or just was like, this needs to be an event for me. And so I got How to Disappear Completely on there, which is a cripplingly sad song. I'm just gonna put out there. Um, do not listen if you do not want to have a good time. Uh, do not listen unless you don't want to have a good time right now, or if you're feeling really sad. Which is common for Radiohead, but their music is beautiful. Um, uh,
No, I think that's a good stopping point.
well, yeah, let's do that.
Worm, what about you?
So, exemplifying exactly what I was saying, the last 10 adds to my like songs list. We have Rock Ring Park by Elements of Music featuring Watsky. Sort of a bouncy, sort of whimsical rap track. We have Fire Inside by Casey Edwards and Victor Borba, the same people that made not half of the team behind Devil Trigger, but specifically these are the people that made Virgil's theme from Devil May Cry 5. The name of which I can't remember right now, which is killing me. But Fire Inside is actually the title track for Devil May Cry Pinnacle of Combat, the mobile game.
Okay.
Then we have How It's Done from K-Pop Demon Hunters.
Ah, yes.
Then we have No Evil by Sir. Stoop Sail by MC Frontalot. Veteran nerdcore rapper. Kingslayer by Bring Me the Horizon featuring Baby Metal.
Ooh.
Extravaganza by Jamie Foxx. Storm Clouds Rising by the Florida Mass Choir. Staring at the Sun by TV on the Radio, sort of a post-punk track. And Set It Free by Nubia Garcia. It's a little jazz number.
Hell yeah.
I have noticed something. Worm, you and I have a similar, like, ability to, like, reach out and grab different songs. The difference is you're listening to actual music, where half of what I listen to is just jokey, goofy, dumbass bullshit.
Listen, no, I got into like this video game inspired music kick a couple years back, and this game would have gone very differently back then. It was a lot of JT music, fucking Stupendium, Dan Bull type stuff. It would have been a very different time.
Okay, that sounds more like the shit that I still listen to today. I think like I'm just like immature with my music taste. I'm clearly like the same guy I was in my 20s listening to music. I've just like slowly found my way to like listening to other shit.
Listen, if it makes you feel any better, there's a trap remix of the Ultra Instinct theme a few songs down.
Oh my god.
That does make me feel a little better, and I also kind of want to link to that.
Will do, buddy.
All right, let's go ahead and do sign-offs, starting with our guest, Illith, if you want to shout out to the people.
Hello. Thank you all so much for having me, you two. This has been a delight. I always love getting to just, like, gush. So I'm really happy I got to be on here and talk with y'all. If y'all are interested in what I do, I stream Mondays and Thursdays, sometimes Saturdays, on my channel over at IllithSailing, on Twitch. I'm also on Blue Sky. You can find me there. I have a Discord channel. We sometimes watch anime in there. I'm going to be watching Eureka 7 this Friday. It's going to be fun.
Nice. Thank you once again for being on the show. So glad I got to learn music history. This was fun.
I'm so excited. Eureka 7 is a touchstone for me.
Hell yeah, brother. I fucking love that show.
It's a shame they never made a sequel. Begins to stare angrily at the screen.
It's a shame they didn't try to make a sequel 3 times.
Oh my god, I forgot they really... Never mind! No, it never happened. What am I talking about? Hey, Worm! Why don't you tell the people about you and not Eureka 7, 2, 3, and 4?
Instead of talking about things that actually never happened, you guys, you can find me everywhere at Wormhold, except on Twitter, which has never had any other names. You can find me there at _Oracle. And more importantly, you can find the spicy erotica that my wife and I write together on AO3 or Wattpad under Rage Taste Lovely. We got some good stuff over there if you like really gushy romantic sex stuff.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And hello, I'm Basil Strikes, aka Basil Not the Herb. You can find me on Twitter, Blue Sky, YouTube, etc. on some combination of Basil Strikes or Basil NTH, because I've found that some of my social medias I haven't changed yet. I don't go on social media that much anymore because I'm 32 and I have better things to do. But occasionally you'll see me tweet something because I am still a part of the generation that's on the internet. You
Amen,
can
brother.
you old chat, old, aging, decrepit, old. You will see the VOD of this hopefully up this weekend. Tomorrow I will be posting our VOD of our time with Ty the Wolf King. I didn't know you could be 31. I didn't know you could be 31. This motherfucker's 32.
Listen, I don't need to be called out like this. I'm catching strays right now, and I'm not here for it.
Listen here, you whippersnapper.
I'm just gonna do the rest of the bit on that. If you wanna find me, you can find me with Basil Strikes. I also have got another TTRPG fixation, so I might see you on Sundays. Thank you for being here at the Ramblers Tavern, the only podcast. My heart.